But I think when people are dealing with hardships in other countries, it's kind of like if you don't build a community, the community's not there. It's like there is nowhere else to turn. So people genuinely just learn how to build that kind of strength amongst one another. And it's a real blessing to bring that over to places like this and find other people where you have the same commonalities and build things here. Because I think from a socioeconomic standpoint, it's one of the easiest places to advance.
What's happening, y'all? We are back with another episode of your favorite podcast, my favorite podcast, Sita's favorite podcast, this guy's favorite podcast, Afronomics. And we're able to get y'all so many episodes as we do because we record in batches. So whenever you see this episode, it might be out of time. But today, the day that we are recording this right now is August 1st, 2025. If you look back in our feeds, you will see the very first episode that we posted is August 1st, 2024. And the very first person to interview us is sitting on the couch right here, right now, this brother Phillip. And so we're happy to have this.
How many sips of that?
They don't know what's in here yet. You can't say it. Well, they can see that.
Table.
Listen.
Cutting up. Anyway, Phil
is back for year one. And this time we get to interview him.
Yes.
And of course, we had to celebrate with a little champagne, baby.
Yeah,
you already know what it is.
A little mimosa vibe.
Little mimosa vibe. Now, I do have a question for you before we continue. When you make your mimosa, do you make your mimosa light skin or dark skin? Answer in the comments. Do you make your mimosa light skin or dark skin, Sita?
Why is it skin?
Light skin, dark skin.
Why is it skin though?
No.
Light or dark?
Y'all never heard that? Y'all never heard that? I literally went to a spot one time. They served mimosas, and they literally had it on the menu as light skin and dark skin mimosas. And it was funny.
And you just adopted it. Okay.
It was funny because I've been saying it for years. I think whoever
Anyway, Phillip Karaya is in the building. He's the founder of Karaya Consulting and Finance with Phil.
We're not gonna toast first.
We already toasted,
but we got to toast on camera for the episode.
It's been on camera. We'll edit it back in. How about that?
Okay, my bad.
It's all good.
Anyway, we probably not even gonna edit it. Y'all just gonna catch it raw. Pause.
You can't say catch it raw, bro. Come on, man.
No diddy.
You know none of us are mature enough for that. Yo,
Damn.
Phil got the distinguished white man laugh going on, right? and the pose. He's like,
I mean, it's finance.
It's giving Carlton Banks.
It's giving wealth.
It's giving Carlton Banks.
It's giving good credit.
It's giving laughs in rich. And he's continuing to do it, which is
am
even
I free to
funnier.
go, officer? Yes, just go.
What's your credit score? 900?
Off the charts. Anyway.
My bad.
He leads a line. At this point, I'm not even roasting anymore, but it sounds like it. He leads the Atlanta chapter of the U.S. African Chamber of Commerce. He's an entrepreneur in real estate, short-term rentals, car rentals. He's a drone pilot, licensed, by the way, and does business consulting as well. He's a financial educator and connecting the U.S. and Africa in business. And just all-around great guy, dope dude. Happy to have him back on. One of our best episodes was the one where he interviewed us, and now we get the chance to interview him. So very excited for that conversation.
And on top of all that stuff, he's just a good, humble brother. You would never have known all that stuff about him if you were just talking to him because it's not his identity. He don't care about stuff like that, but he rocks it.
Yes.
Appreciate that. That's love, man. Excited to be here. Yeah.
Yes. All right, now before we get into the conversation, we got to start every episode with some Walla. And this time it's Walla on some mimosas. So, and y'all already been Walla-ing since.
Excuse me. I have kept my composure. I'm an adult.
You kept it where?
Excuse me?
You kept your composure where? It's
right here.
Is the composure in the room with us? I'm trying to figure out. Anyway, we got a new topic today. It's going to be Black-isms.
Dum, dum, dum.
Yeah, so essentially, I'm going to put together some acronyms and write them on this handy-dandy whiteboard, and then y'all going to have to guess what the phrase is. But it's like common Black phrases and stuff, so should be able to figure it out. Take a sip.
All right.
Oh, my. I don't know who I'm going to be by the time this glass cup is finished.
Yeah, just keep your clothes on. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
Yo, Phil's gonna be laughing this entire episode.
1,000%.
We all finna be.
Link in bio. Talking about getting naked by the time you done check out.
Spicy pepper emoji.
All right. Before I do this, before I show y'all, I'm great at a lot of things. I'm smart, I can dress. I'm funny.
No disclaimers. Your hand look like chicken scratch and sin.
Yeah. My handwriting look like a surgeon with Parkinson's. Like this shit is bad.
A surgeon with Parkinson's is crazy. He's not a surgeon anymore. Imagine Nick standing over you. Heart surgery. Gotta cut an artery.
Worse when you come out. I'm in a doctor with Parkinson's, but you get the idea. You get the surgeon with Parkinson's is crazy.
Bro, my eyes are watering.
You have another diagnosis by the time you leave.
Mortality rates are high in that hospital. Okay, all right.
Just finished this heart surgery. You're supposed to be working on his kidney. All over the place.
I tried, but I just couldn't get there.
It's fixed now, though. Anyway, all right. So this is the first one. All right, so this one, can y'all figure that one out?
Yeah.
To the camera.
WAGBT.
All right, so when you get invited to a spot, the first question.
Oh, who all gonna be there?
Yep. Who all gonna be there for sure.
All right. I started off with an easy one.
I'm the king of who all gonna be there. Because if you say one wrong name, big dog, you gonna get. If you say one wrong name, this is gonna be my response.
All right, here's the next one. Put it to the camera.
Is that IAGHR?
What's the predicament?
That's a. Whoo.
Okay.
It's another way to say, I'm going to tell you till you're straight. I ain't going to lie to you.
I ain't
gonna
hold you.
Yeah, there we go.
I ain't going to hold you.
Hold. Thank you.
At first I was going to say I ain't even going to hold you because, it depends. But oh, look at me being an African American. Look at me being colored.
Look at me blending in.
I can do this.
Y'all should strip the audio and put that over someone else.
That would be a TikTok audio.
All right. Here's another one.
I really want one of these to be profane, but it can't be.
I was wondering whether IJFIFH.
It just.
All right. So the situation is
Okay.
Your girl accusing you of something. Like maybe you done got caught kikiing and you flirting a little too hard with the waitress.
As a black man,
I know Jay
cheat.
is just. Jay got to be just.
Anybody in the studio know it?
I ain't never been in a situation like that before.
What that say?
Like your girl, you maybe you out at a restaurant and you laughing a little too hard at the waitress jokes and stuff, and then when y'all get home, she gonna hit you with this, and argument.
I just feel no.
You on the way there.
This is her response to your.
This is how she's starting the conversation.
I just find it funny how.
That's it.
Yeah.
I just find it funny how, and this shit not funny.
Oh my God.
whatever she's gonna say.
PTSD from that.
Whatever she's gonna say.
I just find it funny
it's
how.
not
Wait,
comical.
what happened? What
That's
did I do?
not comical at all.
What did I do? She's literally not laughing.
You said you just said. I ain't heard that one yet.
Really? Mm-mm. You've heard versions of it.
We've all heard versions.
All right. Oh, let me stand that out. All right. This one, when you got a girl that's like particularly blessed and she's walking towards you.
I can see it from the front. Praise the Lord.
Praise
Wait, am
the
I
Lord.
talking to myself? My bad.
You know, even though like we're all done with school, it's nice to feel like you're in a group project where you don't have to do anything again.
So they put the team on my back.
Smile away, smile away.
Oh man, but don't you hate how when you think you can see it from the front, and then there's nothing to see once you turn around? My bad. Yeah, I told y'all. Why? I'm not wrong. It's called false advertising.
False advertising.
We don't
crazy.
appreciate it. Let me drink my mimosa and mind my business.
All right, more chicken scratch. But this one is when you bit off a little more than you can chew.
What'd that say? What'd it say? I don't know.
TMDOYC.
Yeah, you bit off a little more than you can chew.
This might do this. I don't know.
Are any of his words correct?
No.
No.
I'm just saying stuff at this point. Take me to the king.
Okay,
I don't
no.
know.
Take me to the king is crazy.
Huh? Too much dip on your
dip
chip.
on your chip.
Shout out to what's his name? Big Eyes. What's his name? Big Eyes.
I don't know.
That's he made that famous. What's his name?
Big
Too
eye.
much dip
He
on
got
your chip.
the dude with he's a comedian with the big eyes. When he his eyes be bugging out his head, but he's funny. He said it first. You know who I'm talking about.
I know his name.
I can see his face. I just can't figure out his
Is
name.
it Ryan something?
No, too much dip on your chip. What's brother name? Let me see.
Yeah, make it legible. All right. This still don't look like.
What's bro name?
There we go. Oh, we gonna figure that out. This is a line in a movie.
How you? Those are the first two words.
How you gonna find out?
Who? How? Have you?
I want to say it's Friday.
I figured it was gonna be something from Friday. I don't know why, but I figured it's gonna be something from Friday.
You know it.
I really want one of these to be profane, but it's not.
You got it.
Dang, what is it? It's from Friday?
I ain't seen that movie in so
No.
long.
O? What ends with O? Oh, how you get fired on your day off?
Yeah.
I cheated. How you get fired on your day off, Craig?
All right, that's the
That takes
last
skill.
one.
That takes
Hopefully
skill.
y'all had a good time with that one. We might run it back in future episodes.
That was fun.
Yeah. All right. Now we can move into the discussion. Appreciate you. All right, so Phil, just real quick, we know who you are. A lot of people know who you are, but there may be a few viewers that live under a rock that may not be as aware of your multi-hyphenate status, doing a lot of different things and adding value to the community. So just, quick little elevator pitch or, just a little background on who is Phillip Karaya.
And how long did it take you to do that Jerry curl?
Jerry curl is crazy.
This is actually just my natural hair.
It
It looks crazy.
I'm saying, like, it looked like brother's never seen a
This is what
Jerry
happens
curl.
when you moisturize,
never
brother.
seen it.
This is what happens when you
Let your
moisturize.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
when you moisturize, which
I'm sorry. You got the soul
You
glow.
look- you
It's
got
all
lucky.
right. You seen Coming to America. You know your soul is glowing. Continue. My
that is
bad,
not
brother.
what a Jerry curl look like.
I know.
though.
How can I? It's a 2025 Jerry.
A 2025.
It's a Philly
Jerry.
curl.
A Philly curl.
Lord have mercy. Okay,
My
so
bad. Go ahead.
now
We're
you
being
go.
serious. We're being adults. We're being adults. We're businessmen.
I gotta see. I'm not that flexible. I can
There you
barely.
go.
Aren't
Yeah,
you a
yeah.
football player? Why aren't you able to do that?
Football players are notoriously not flexible.
I thought athletes are supposed to be flexible because how do you not
Depending on the
would
sport.
help.
Depending on the sport.
He
Yeah,
said it would
but
help.
yeah, no. A lot of times, football
Really?
players specifically aren't usually the most flexible.
Oh, okay. Back
It
to
would
Phil.
help. Yeah.
The way that I would describe it is like no less than a king, no greater than a servant. I think when I look
Say
at
that one more time
no less than
Slower.
a king,
with emphasis.
no greater than a servant.
Praise the Lord. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. So the way that I look at how I exercise and do life is like, it's about being service to like everyone. It's like you don't want to accept treatment like less than anything, but you're also not better than anyone. You want to be better than the person that you were prior. You want to figure out how you can help someone else. It's like beside you, behind you, or ahead of you, there's always a way that we can value exchange to get towards the end goal. And a lot of that just has to do with understanding your vision and what you want out of life, actually having quality conversations to understand what other people want out of life, and then figuring out how to plug the difference. So that's what I spend a lot of my life doing.
Man, in a lot of different areas too. Where did you start off with? What was like the first thing entrepreneurially that you did? It was like, all right, this is service, but it's also something I want to do.
Yeah, it was definitely selling candy in 3rd grade.
Really?
He's been in it.
Please say more.
He's been in it.
Please say more. Got to say more on
Back
that.
when you was chasing waterfalls.
First of all, when I was chasing waterfalls, y'all were still incubating. When he was in 3rd grade, I was in middle school.
But anyway, I'm sorry, I done got us off topic.
I was actually selling newspapers. Go ahead.
That's
when
awesome.
you were in 3rd grade.
That's how old you are. Anyway, go.
Respect your
You
elders.
said just selling
So,
candy?
Yeah, selling candy in 3rd grade. So like, I used to get an allowance of, I think it was like $5 like every 2 weeks or like once a month or something. So
Mine was $5 a month too.
Look at that.
Praise God.
You could buy a lot of candy with $5 back then.
I don't know, Becky, yeah, they $5.
Troy, I know you're old behind my talking. Because if $5 was allowed in my day, $5 would have bought a house in yours.
That was real wealth. All right, we're not getting through this interview. I'm sorry.
You can get oldest Pumpkin Pie cookies for $1 back in that time. You get 3 cookies for $1. It was a wonderful time in life.
All right,
It
buckets.
was.
I'm in there. I'm in there.
You're not allowed to drink no more.
I'm putting it down. We're not going to get through the episode.
It's the Mosa. All right, we're grown-ups, y'all.
Yeah.
We have to be examples.
Yeah. So we would go to go grocery shopping. I would take my $5 and I was thinking about like, how can I make more money? So I'd buy like gigantic bags of like Airheads or other stuff. And then I would sell them for either like $25 like a piece or like $5 for $1.
Which Airhead sold the most? What flavor? The white mystery?
The white mystery was like what I think green apple was like one of my favorites, and white mystery, and then blueberry,
Ew,
and cherry. Yeah. Heck
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of like how it all started. Then eventually it got into like sneakers and then like flipping video games and different stuff. But I never really saw like business as a way of life. I kind of just saw it as a way to make money so I could like buy Zaxby's and do other stuff because that was a priority.
Yeah,
Like, you
right.
from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So it wasn't until actually I wasn't even thinking about doing business when I kind of got into it more heavily in 2017. My older sister is actually the one that pointed out that I really have a knack for helping people solve problems. And that's what kind of was like, it's like, I guess I could make money like doing this. And that's what kind of started making me think about it. It was just things that I did naturally. Yeah.
So you said this twice now, and I realize it's a theme, and I resonate with it because it's pretty much how I do things as well. When Sita asked you originally to say your elevator pitch about yourself, you didn't talk about business. You talked about mission.
Yeah.
Personal mission, and what you do comes out of your own personal mission. And you said it again just now, how you just wanted to, I think it was help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I resonate with it because I'm the same. When I thought about it, I realized my life boils down to service. I just like to help people.
Yeah.
And so even on my LinkedIn profile, it says in service to God and people, in whatever iteration that means.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of the reason why, number one, you do so much, and two, why you have success in what you do. And why it's success. It's like I said, it's successful.
Yeah.
Because it's mission driven. We're being adults. It's mission driven.
Yeah.
And when you're mission driven, it affects everything else that you do.
Yeah.
So can you speak a little bit about that? Like how you knew that was how you got to the conclusion of like this is how I want to be and who I want to be. Y'all are terrible.
We're not doing nothing.
I've concluded y'all are people that we can't sit together in serious situations. Because y'all, I'm done. Continue. I just want to questions. Jesus.
So I look at it like I'm a second generation helper. So like my family, especially like my parents, are very big in like service, like down to the level where it's like, it's funny. Yesterday, a guy that I went to elementary school. My mom's an elementary school teacher, and he actually was my mom was his teacher.
Oh, wow.
She just taught his first son, and now she's teaching his second son. And it's like that level of like, I've had people stop me like walking around somewhere in Atlanta, like, oh my gosh, like tell your mom I said like hello, like type of thing.
Yeah.
Or like I was in California for a buddy's graduation, and there was a family that was like, you know, we only got to come to America because like your parents helped like sponsor us to get here.
Wow.
And like that's the kind of like how they spend a lot of their time. Like I thought everyone spent their weekends like volunteering and like doing stuff because it was just like that ingrained. So as I kind of thought about what I wanted to do, even from a professional standpoint, I was trying to figure out how is it that I can either make money and help people and like from my career and then just spend my time outside of it. Cause that's kind of like what my dad does as an engineer, or how do I incorporate those two things into one? And then it was kind of just trial and error of different stuff until I found, you know, this eventually.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's
no,
up.
that's dope. And then your parents are Kenyan immigrants, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're like what, first generation where you actually born here and
Yep.
grew up, but they kind of brought in some values and that very communal in their aspect.
Yeah.
Now, how did that play like a significant role in just like the community and how you were coming up?
Yeah, I would say like the biggest thing that it kind of played a role in is like I'm very good at people and relationships.
Yeah.
And that's a huge superpower that I think a lot of stuff is
Yeah.
missed, but a lot of that has come from the fact of like my parents have built a very wonderful community of people around them. And so I think I always looked at a lot of things from like, how are you in service of the people that are around you? And how do you all help each other through times that are like hard, not hard? I mean, there's a running joke in the Kenyan community that people don't believe in getting life insurance because anytime like someone passes, the community will literally come together and raise $10, $20, $30, $40,000
Wow.
to pay for whatever. And people could genuinely have life insurance, but they're gonna do it anyways to make sure they can send people back if they want to like transport the body back home, et cetera, et cetera. It's just like that level. Even when people get married, like you do what's called like pre-weddings, depending on who you're marrying and different stuff. But say you're marrying like another Kenyan woman, et cetera, et cetera. They do a pre-wedding and literally the community will come together and raise money for your wedding. Like it's not uncommon for people to get $40, $50, $60, $80,000 like towards their wedding. Whatever they spend on their wedding is that, and then after that they can just pocket the rest and, you know, start their life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I think that's very one of the beautiful things about like African culture, African tradition is like just that community aspect. Cause like like you said, my dad passed away in 2020. He lived in Sierra Leone, and you know we didn't have much of a relationship, but we still like, you know, we're tied to him. That was our father. So like the community kind of gathered around us, and they had this thing they say it in Creole where it's like bearing os. Bearing is like a funeral. So it's like your house is the bearing os where you have somebody, you're the bereaved. And people will literally come to your house every day for weeks up until the funeral, and even after the funeral. They'll bring food, they'll bring money, like everything to alleviate the situation and lessen that burden on you. And I've been able to see that even like from Black American friends, where when my dad passed, like organizations I was part of, I was on the board for the Georgia Tech Black Alumni. They raised money to help when my dad passed. My frat chapter, like my frat brothers, they sent a significant amount of money that really helped me and my family because we had to fly back to Sierra Leone at that time. So like that community aspect, I think is something that we gotta really build on culturally. It's a little more prevalent in African communities, but I think like we really gotta see how do we rally around each other and work with each other. It's all about unity. That's been one of our biggest issues.
For sure. I think it's the aspect of, in the U.S. anyway, individualism is a lot bigger than what we see in other cultures. And a lot of that is like, there isn't the same kind of like government backing that you can get. Like, and we know from family members, a lot of other stuff, if you're poor, you just die. Like there isn't any subsidies and aspects of like what can be there to help you. And in no way is this a knock to like, you can't, or rather I look at it, I choose to not condemn people for things that they may not understand because of whatever level of exposure or whatever life or hand that they may have been dealt. Because I know a lot of foreigners can come over here and look at Americans and could sometimes look at it like, oh, you're wasting a lot of opportunities. Look at all these things that you may have. But I think sometimes it's kind of like what a lot of foreign parents do to their kids, where they're like, you don't have it as hard as I have it. Like, and it's just that pointing of fingers when it's like, whatever the hardest thing for that person is the hardest thing for that person. The same thing for a kid that may go to school, their pants ripped, and then they got kids teasing them. To them, that is the hardest thing that they've had to experience psychologically. So looking at them and be like, you don't know what it's like to work a job and do this and do that and have to, deal with your mom when she's angry and the kids and et cetera. It's like to that child, that's still the same thing. That's the most difficult thing to go through. But I think when people are dealing with hardships in other countries, it's kind of like if you don't build a community, the community's not there. It's like there is nowhere else to turn. So people genuinely just learn how to build that kind of strength amongst one another. And it's a real blessing to bring that over to places like this and find other people where you have the same commonalities and build things here. Because I think from a socioeconomic standpoint, it's one of the easiest places to advance. So, yeah.
So with you being like a serial entrepreneur, having your hand in a lot of different buckets and things like that, I don't want to make any assumptions about like why you have those things. I'm going to assume one is probably fun and you probably saw business opportunities you wanted to capitalize on and stuff like that. But what outside of that, if there is something outside of that, would there be, I guess is the larger vision for what you want to accomplish? Because you are multi-talented. There's a lot of facets about you and what you do. And I know a lot of times, sometimes those things can, in some people, I know it is for myself, there's a larger vision of something that you may want to accomplish, but all these other things are kind of like side quests to get to what you to do something in the meantime to really accomplish the big task. So to speak on that, like what's the bigger vision? Are some of these side quests going to be put down at some point in time, and what's going on with the King Phillip?
For sure. I always wanted to be a stay-at-home dad.
That's beautiful.
But I never wanted to have to sacrifice quality of life and opportunities for my family. And so a lot of it was a lot of trial and error. I mean, this all kind of stemmed from, I worked a handful of different jobs and internships like leading up to this point. Like I wasn't planning on doing business. I actually didn't really see it as a thing. So starting off from I'll go from end of high school, right? So math and science, strong suits. I mean, as a foreigner, you go get good grades and everything. But math and science were the things that I really enjoyed. So I was like, I'm going to go and try out careers and things that, align with that. My dad's a civil engineer by trade, so I went to go shadow him at work and stuff. And was like
very African of him.
Fair.
Very on brand.
And then I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't really feeling that. And then I was really into computers and tech stuff. I still am, which is fascinating. And anyways, so I did an IT internship at a reverse mortgage company through this program called Tag Ed. And it was interesting because this is actually one, in hindsight, it's funny now that we're talking about this and I'm looking back on those moments. This is why relationships and communication really can change the aspect of quality of life. So I remember when going to they had basically a summit for all the students that were applying to do it because they did placements in a lot of Fortune 500 companies. And I was just making conversation with this one dude that was there. And I was like, I don't know if I really should be here because I'm thinking that I'm really more so gearing towards medicine, but I'm really interested to try it and then see what ends up happening, right? Because there's a limited amount of slots that they were doing. Turns out that guy was one of the directors of the program.
Oh, wow.
And then I ended up getting a placement. And then I was like, oh, now I'm thinking about it later. I ended up meeting the same guy at an event a couple years later. And I remember him telling me he's like, you may not get it now, but he's like, but I want you to understand you have it. And I was just like, I didn't necessarily understand what that meant when I might have been 18, 19 at the time. But I understand what he meant now, which is I think it's a curiosity to go after and figure out what things are there, but also to be honest with how you view things. It's because I wasn't looking at I know for sure this is what it is. It's kind of the phrase of it's crazy. The only things we don't question are the things that we think for certain are true. And that's normally what screws us, more than anything else. So did the IT internship, thought it was interesting, watched people go into cubicles for hours and not come out. I was I would shoot myself. I like interacting with people. Of course, now I understand that IT is way more multifaceted than that. But then I was like, all right, cool. Healthcare, I think that's a way that I can use math or science, be able to help people, da-da-da-da-da. So started off studying biology and started working in pharmacy. A young lady that I was dating at the time was planning to be a pharmacist, and this was when I found out you actually only had to be 18 and have a clean background to work in pharmacy as a technician, which gives you an opportunity to learn a lot of aspects of pharmacology, which gives you a leg up for medical school. Because from talking to some doctors and some young doctors in training, I remember one, it was pharmacology was kicking my behind. I was like, oh, this is the perfect way to do both. I can make some money, I can actually learn pharmacology, and I'm sure it looks good on a resume and all this other jazz. So continued on, and quick sidebar of have you ever heard the story of Maybe?
Mm-mm.
About the Chinese farmer who the long shortened version
of
it.
Is this the bamboo tree
So no, basically it's the concept of you never know whether things are good or bad, ever. So it's like he comes home, and then like his horses are gone. And then someone comes by like, is this a bad thing? And he's like, I don't know, like maybe. And then after that, 5 horses come back. And then it's like the 5 horses come back like, oh my God, like this is such great wealth. Like, and he's like, do you think this is great? He's like, maybe. The son's riding one of the horses. The horse like kicks him off. He breaks his leg. And they're like, oh my God, this is such a tragedy. He's like, maybe. Then the military comes in like, we need to come and enlist all the young men there. And they're like, he can't go because he has a broken leg. And it's like, well, is it good or bad? It's like, maybe. And I think we can only look back in hindsight to decide whether things are good or bad, but there are only choices and outcomes that we pick in life. And I think we get stuck sometimes trying to view it as like, I know this is the right decision. You don't know any of that. I think you just have to be willing and confident of like, no matter what the outcome of this is,
I'm okay with it.
I'm gonna be okay. And so it was funny. I ended up dislocating my ankle my freshman year of college. I was playing basketball. A ball rolled under my foot. I didn't know it was under me.
Now you can't
I
go
came
to
down. I came down on the ball because I didn't know it was under me. All my weight came down on it, like snapped. Couldn't walk for a couple of weeks. Had to like change around some of my schedule, all this other jazz. But because I don't know how to sit still, after a couple of days, I even went back to work. I just had a knee scooter. I was riding around the pharmacy, putting the little drugs in the basket, doing whatever. It's Father's Day, and I'm heading home to take my family out to dinner because I had to work that day. And I'm sitting at a light, and I get rear-ended going 70 miles per hour. My car's sitting there, right?
Wow.
And I know these people were really like befuddled because I got out on crutches. I'm already on crutches. They're like, oh, it's over. They're like, we getting sued. Like,
dang, this is a professional scammer.
Like, how did he know?
How did he know?
He was ready.
right.
Atlanta.
So I spent part of that back half of Father's Day in the ER, but it was funny. Like, they totaled out my car, got a new car, but I never did like physical therapy or anything else. One day I'm in my chem class, and I get a phone call, so I step outside to take the phone call, and it was the insurance company. And it was funny because once again, this is kind of like the story of maybe, right? Is anything good or bad? Maybe. And turns out, so I got a settlement, and the settlement was for like $6,000, right? And it was just enough to do this medical fellowship that I wanted to do to go to Europe.
Wow.
So it's like, was dislocating my ankle, like good or bad, like maybe. Was just so having to like work that day, good or bad, like maybe. Was getting into an accident that totaled out my car, good or bad, maybe.
Yeah.
And then it all ended up with like me not having to ask for any money or get a scholarship to be able to go on this medical fellowship. I went to go work in a public and a private hospital in Greece. And it was after that I came back and I had a realization of like, it was after one older guy that just had heart surgery, and we were shadowing in like the cardiac ICU, and he like legit like would not stay still. Like if anyone stopped watching him, he's like getting up trying to like, take all these tubes and different stuff out, blah, 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 blah. And his son comes up to talk to me and some people when we're leaving, and he's like, like, is my dad okay? And we're like, of course, like you have to go and like check with the doctors, down there. But I think the fact that your dad is that old and just got out of heart surgery and still refuses to sit still just shows the aspect of the amount of resilience that he has. But in having that conversation, I realized, and through other experiences there, one, you can do everything right and things still go wrong. It was the first time that I watched surgeries like up close and personal, like going completely wrong. There's a lot of conversations that you have to have with people where it's like, I felt either one or two things would happen. I'd get super desensitized to death, or I'd drown myself in a vice. Because like those are some tough conversations to have.
Yeah.
And understanding myself as an empath, I'm like, watching people break down after losing loved ones. It's like one or two things only does happen. You either drown it out or you literally learn to not care because you have to keep pushing one way or another. And that's difficult. And so I commend anyone that like continue going down that path. So I came back and was basically trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And there was a pharmacist that I was working with that was basically like, he wanted to get out of pharmacy. And I'm like, like you're young, you're black, you're making great money. It's like you're married, like you have healthy kids. It's like all the things that are like the check boxes from like how we look at doing life. And he's like, I want to do more of like what my stepdad does. And he makes, like 7 figures a year doing like X, Y, and Z, like doing a lot of stuff in finance. And I was like, huh? Like, it wasn't the way, all this entrepreneur, TikTok, all this other jazz was like going on talking about business like it's sexy. And I was like, dang. So I was like, well, if I'm smart enough to become you, I'm smart enough to become him. And that's kind of like when I pivoted into looking into doing more business stuff. Yeah.
Okay. And when was that? Like what age?
Yeah, this is 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. So like early 20s.
Yeah.
When you started making that decision.
Yep. It was like 2021. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now that's a great origin story. And I like how, I like the story of maybe. I like the idea of you don't know what the hell is going to happen.
Facts.
Yeah. I read a book recently. It's just, there's a lot of value in being able to embrace uncertainty.
Yeah.
And then like just being stoic in nature, you know, and things aren't inherently good or bad. It's just about how you perceive them, how you respond to them, and what your next step is. It's always like the most important thing that I've had to learn in life. There's been a lot of situations where I was like, yeah, this is going to be a great thing. And then get into it. It's like, damn, I wish I was better off like 4 months ago before this started. But, you know, I love just kind of bringing that full circle. Now, that started off as finance, but you've kind of branched into different things. Like you have your own app. You have, you know, short-term rentals. You have car rentals. You manage other people's rentals and car rentals. So it's like, how did that start end up flourishing into all these different things and these different streets?
And also, before you answer that, if y'all follow him on social media, you will see that he posts sometimes when people mess up his stuff. Stop messing up my brother's cars. Yeah. Stop messing up his cars and his properties. He worked hard for that. All right?
Did somebody steal your car one time and you had to like chase him or something? It was something wild.
Oh yeah, now that's happened on a handful of times. So.
Oh yeah, no. He told me this story.
Please follow him. It's actually very entertaining. But if I find you who's messing up his stuff, we're gonna have a problem.
What you gonna do?
Bro, we supposed to be a team, bro.
I'm trying to know what you gonna do so I can help.
I can't tell because we gotta have plausible liability.
But we're not doing nothing illegal though.
We're not doing nothing illegal.
So there's no need for plausible deniability.
What's denial is liability.
It's deniability.
Like hopsicle.
Hopsicle?
And the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean.
Pacific Ocean.
Pacific Ocean.
What?
Why did you do that?
I didn't do anything.
That face, like you just tried to come back and it just did it.
I tried to come back.
No.
I'll let it be known that I tried to come
gone.
back. It was far gone. You still drinking, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I had to pick my cup back up. But anyway, I remember he did. He showed a video.
It's just orange juice.
Somebody stole your car and then like you had it tracked and then pulled up to like the gas station where they was parked and stole it back or something.
Wait, what?
So no, that was one. The guy actually got robbed. This was off of that was on Covington Highway.
Oh, it was by my mama's house. So I was like, I know that gas station.
So long story short, this woman, I just got back in from Tennessee and I got a text from a lady saying that, hey, look, I'm so sorry. My son had the rental car and the car got stolen. I'm on, cruise and I only got the Wi-Fi package. So like, I can't talk, but here's the number to my sister so that, you can, figure out what was going on next. So I hit up the sister and she was like, yeah, like someone's dash cam ended up like basically capturing like what ends up happening. Long story short, Buddy just got got big boyed for the keys. Buddy literally ran up in his pockets, and then they were like tussling back and forth. No fist, no nothing. Literally just him trying to hold on to his pants as Buddy was going in there to get the car key, and then like drove off. But you think he's just robbing a random person. But we have like trackers and kill switches on the cars, so literally just went to go track down the car like literally like that night. And then it was interesting. I'm not gonna say too much to implicate aspects of the story, but we find the car. It's in a chop shop and somewhere in Lithonia. And so we called the police to come and do an escort because there was a bunch of cars there and it wasn't a clean way of getting to it that might not take more than like a minute. And a lot happens in a minute, especially on other people's property and this is what people do for work. And so it was funny, the cop had came there and he was like, oh, like, why don't you go and get the car? And it's like, nah, man, like we're here dressed in all black in a black car with a pistol on our hip because like we don't plan on getting in the car. We're trying not to get in the shootout. Like, this is someone else's property. Like, this is what that actually is. So he comes over there, like, turns on, like, the siren stuff, go in there, cut on the car, and then drive off, take it to go get fixed. And then the car was rented back out in, like, 2 days.
That's crazy.
Entrepreneur stories.
Bro.
It happens, man.
This is why you should be an entrepreneur. Your life will never be boring.
Nah, facts.
But there's never a moment of boredom.
The thing is, like, with entrepreneurship, it's like, the shit don't get easier. You just get better at dealing with
Facts.
it. Like
1,000%.
Yeah. Like,
and you always have a story to tell.
1,000%.
Yeah. Like stuff that used to bother you, after a while, just like par for the course.
It is what it is.
It's always something. Yeah.
That's it.
Now back to the original question that you were asking.
Oh yeah. All these branches. How do you get into them? Like, what was the impetus and how do you manage doing so much?
Yeah.
You just schizophrenic, ADHD, vibes.
Vibes for sure.
You're alien, you're robot.
And orange juice. Vibes and orange juice. I would say a lot of it came from the aspect of like helping other people. So when other people would ask for help with stuff, it would just give me a lot of insight to partner up and be alongside people that were doing things that were different, but I also had interest in. But it also gave me the ability to be like, oh, bet, like I can help you do this. But now, like, oh, I want to do a deal too. And you've been doing this for X, Y, or Z amount of time. Like, all right, I'd like to do it together. So like even like my first development deal, which kind of came also from like relationships. This is a whole nother. A lot of these stories all start with like a relationship with someone randomly. I was with that same pharmacist. We were golfing. I ended up meeting another older black gentleman. Shout out to Bird, Black Porsche Club. And he was like, oh, like young man, like what are you up to? What are you doing? Da 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 da. So we shoot the breeze for a minute. He's like, I know someone you should know. So then he picks up his phone to make a phone call. And then after that, like the person doesn't answer. We're on the other side of the driving range. And then he just comes up to me with the phone, like, yo, like, here's the guy right here. And just hands me the phone.
Okay. And
that ends up being a good buddy, mentor, and friend of mine who actually helped me do my first development deal and was like, oh, okay, you want to do a deal? He's like, I'm doing my deals cash. So he's like, I don't need a whole bunch. But if you want to learn, you got to bring some skin to the game. So I need you to bring $50,000. And then, you know, we negotiated out terms. And it was funny. And this is just another like little negotiation tip. When I was getting like the contract to basically do the placement for capital, I had him basically sign that he would collateralize the money off of one of his properties. So it made it a riskless deal. And so it made it a lot easier to raise the rest of the money that I needed. Because I think maybe I had like 15 or 20 grand and I needed like another 30. And that's essentially how I got the other 30,000 and then was able to do my first development deal. And then he had me doing a bunch of the grunt work just so I can learn the ins and outs of dealing with stuff, dealing with the cities, like dealing with permitting and a lot of other stuff. So it was an amazing experience. And yeah, we're still good. We're still good buddies now. I literally was just with him last week. So a lot of this stuff just starts with a relationship. But by being able to help people with some stuff, because he also had interns. That was also one of the things that, because I have interns, I want them to like have some cool stuff to be doing, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, bet, like I help you manage that. And like, I also want to learn some aspects of real estate. So it's always the aspect of how can you help other people? And then simultaneously, like, what's the way that they can help you? And then you just move the needle in both directions.
So there's a I know we got to wrap up because we've been going, but there's I guess I've heard this a lot of times when it comes to business and starting businesses and entrepreneurship, and it's true. Don't try to do something for money. Do something to solve a problem. You seem to break it down, and I do too, break it down and go a little bit deeper into that, aside from not just solving a problem, but also genuinely helping, being there to genuinely help people. And I think that's important. You're just another example of why that is true. Like, don't just get into something for the money. Like, go in there with the expectation of, hey, there's a problem that I can solve. Let's solve it. But in order to solve a problem, you also have to be knowledgeable enough about what the solution is. So you got to put your stuff together and,
True. And figure out whatever it is you need to do so that like money isn't the motivating factor of why you have to do things. And even if that means like you're not making money in the thing that you're doing, because a lot of people will be like, oh, like I can't work for somebody like for free. There's a lot of people that I work for free. I just made sure it was the right kind of people to work for free. I'm like, I'll go make my money elsewhere because what I can learn right here, I can translate to making a hell of a lot more money later on. But I'm not going to be so egotistical. It's like, oh, like, well, you can just afford to pay me. But it's like, I think that's the other fallacy. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you can afford to pay for X, Y, or Z. But it's like no one wants to buy or basically rent out people that don't have a lot of talent. A lot of people overvalue the amount of value that they add into like scenarios, businesses, companies, et cetera. Because for the most part, when you look at most jobs, and this is why most people really aren't cut out for entrepreneurship, but also why entrepreneurship makes you a little bit crazy. At a lot of jobs, you can only work 30% of the time for real and still get your full salary. Yeah. So that same amount of work ethic ends up going into how a lot of people approach business, which does not work the same. Because we all know from the fact you can do everything correctly, move everything right, and things still go wrong. There is not that room of like, I can move at 30%. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I'll go chit-chat by the water and go bother other people and still expect full salary.
Yeah,
it's like
you eat what you kill.
You eat what you kill at all times, and sometimes you kill stuff you still don't eat.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, like
a lot of times.
I still got a lot of invoices that ain't paid. Like,
hell yeah.
So it's like understanding, and there's nothing wrong with. I really hate the debate of like, oh, like everyone should just work for themselves. I remember seeing that thing of like, would you rather make $40,000 working for yourself, working like 60-hour weeks, or like $150,000 working like 40 hours? And people were like, oh, like I'd rather work for myself and make $40,000. It's like, like the person that can work 30% of the time and can get paid 150 could literally just hire you or be the partner in the business to put up capital, and you work like a racehorse. So I think,
it's to me, it's whichever option gives you the most peace as a human being.
Yeah.
Because everybody's not cut out to be an entrepreneur, and like the entrepreneur spirit can't be an employee for long term. Because I know for me personally, like I'm not here to be. I can't be an employee not long term.
Yeah.
Where you have your expectations of what I do. I can't do it because in my mind, I'm seeing how you run things, and at some point in time, I'm gonna get annoyed with how you run things and want to do it myself.
Yeah.
Also, the employee spirit is not really cut out to be an entrepreneur because that person doesn't want to do the stuff that it takes to be an entrepreneur. There's the person who will work for 30 minutes, 30% of the time, and then the person who has the drive and willingness to say, all right, let me give it 110% and be okay with if I fail, I fail.
Yeah, I think I look at it not from like an employee or an entrepreneur mindset, but just like having a service mindset. So at the end of the day, you're always servicing someone. The only difference is like the consistency and how you're paid.
Exactly.
But it's like, I think of a lot of things as like a means to an end. So it's like, if you can get a job that pays you a lot of money, it doesn't take a lot of like your time. I mean, hell, I don't know if y'all have seen the recruitment that Meta is doing, where they're offering some employees $100 million on the front end, plus compensation packages. It's like, can you imagine?
Most entrepreneurs not touching that.
Exactly. That's astronomical money for you to be a 9-to-5 employee. Even if you only work for, a couple of years, you can be pocketing ridiculous amounts of life-changing money, $300, $400 million. And you can go do whatever you want. And I look even at a smaller scale, like even if you have a job that pays $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, but you live off like 30, 40, and then it's like you pocket the rest, you invest the other rest, like you can get your freedom back really, really fast. But it's like, I think it's too much of a treadmill of, like I want to like make six figures. It's like rather than keep six figures, I want to make $1 million rather than like keep $1 million. Yeah. I want to make a bunch of money off people. But you're not looking at like, how do I service and solve enough problems that people are willing to pay me those kinds of things? Because it's like, I'd look at it as you do more than what you're paid, and eventually you're paid for more than what you do. And I'm very thankful to finally be on the side of, I get paid for a chunk of more than what I do now.
Yeah, I think entrepreneurship is very romanticized in today's society. Like with social media, people don't understand like it's a hustle. It's a lot of time. Like I think you kind of, if you have like an employee background, you used to kind of, it's a little more linear. You work for a while, you make money, you gain more skills, you gain more value, you get a promotion, raise. Do that again, promotion, raise. Go to another job, promotion, raise, and it's a little more linear. Whereas like in entrepreneurship, you can be working your ass off 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and get nothing.
Facts.
For years.
Facts.
It's
Nothing.
the bamboo tree.
But once you hit a certain point, and the overwhelming majority of people do not make it to that point, you can get that upside, and the growth can be more exponential. But most businesses fail within the first 5 years. So most people never hit that point because it's tough. Yeah. You got to support yourself while you're running this business, and life happens. You got sickness comes up. You got family. You might have a kid, and it's like, well, now it's not just me taking a risk. I got a mouth to feed. Yep. So, like, I think people have to be very realistic about what it is, and we got to have more transparency on all sides about what it's like to be in this space, because people enter it not really understanding what's up. And I'm all about taking a risk. I'm a risk taker. I don't gamble, but I bet on myself all the time. And I think that's what entrepreneurs do all the time. But you got to be very mindful about what you portray and make sure that people really know that it can get ugly.
It ain't sweet. And it's like that talented 10th. I think a lot of people are looking at the talented 10th in all different areas. Because just because you're at a job that has 10 years of experience does not mean that you got any better. Yeah. It's the same way in business too. People are like, I've been in business 10 years, but they've never progressed like by any different means. But people hear the years and be like, oh snap, like you've been an entrepreneur a long time. It's like, you've been running on a treadmill at 2 miles per hour. Like
because growth is intentional. You have to, in that situation, you have to determine, I'm going to grow, I'm going to get better. Because you can just start a business, you can start an organization, you can start whatever. And once it gets to the point where you feel like it's cool, you're just coasting, and there's nothing else to it, and you're just there. Yeah. And you're not adding any value to yourself, you're not adding any value to the growth, to the business, you're not adding any value to anything. You just have an LLC, you just have a business that's just there.
And then businesses like that die because it's like living life, being in business, really being in any field, but business in particular is like you're running on a treadmill backwards. So it's like if you just walk and just try to keep up, then you're falling behind. If you stand still, you're falling behind. You literally have to hustle and be running in order to be able to make progress and move forward.
Yeah.
So you got to have a right mindset. It's going to constantly push you. You got to keep yourself under pressure, even if you think things are chill, even if your system's to the point where it's like, all right, I can be hands off. No, you still got to be mindful. You don't have to necessarily work in your business, but you got to constantly be working on your business to keep up with the latest technology, keep up with the market, making sure you're developing your team, because it's all about, your A players and making sure that they stay A players.
I think it's like surrounding yourself with the right people. It's like my goal normally when I enter into spaces is to be either the youngest, the dumbest, or the brokest in the room.
Yeah.
Because if you're the big fish in the small pond, that means like you're in the wrong location, and there ain't nothing that sharpens you like being around people that are just so far ahead, but you can also still figure out how to value add on both ends.
Yeah.
That is the way that you start cutting out so much noise. And there's so much noise in the world and on the internet about what people think you should be doing in comparison to like, this is how you can actually do it, or like, oh, you need that connection, this is how you do that. Boom, bam. It's like relationships go way further than running on a treadmill.
Facts.
Yeah.
Man, y'all know we could talk forever, but we are out of time, fellas. Phil, man, it's always a pleasure to have you, man. Always a pleasure to talk. Y'all got to follow. What's your IG, man?
Yeah, at phillip.karaya, at Phillip.Karaya, or at Finance with Phil.
There you go. That is another episode of Afronomics. What is it? Like, subscribe, follow, comment, share. If you don't agree with something we said, please start an argument in the comments. It's fun. I enjoy it. In the meantime, if you got a little bit of champagne and some orange juice, make yourself a little light skin mimosa and toast to us for the 1 year anniversary of Afronomics. Appreciate y'all. And if y'all been rocking with us since August 1st, 2024, you a real one. Appreciate.
Cheers.